The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones. You've heard me talk about Cal-Ben 5-star soaps for years. This is an American-made product of the highest quality and compares to nothing you will find in stores. You can buy factory direct, shipped via UPS right to your door. Check them out on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091. Take my word for it. Once you've used Pure Soap, you won't buy anything else. Since 1947, Cal-Ben Soap Company has been showing consumers that soap can be tough on dirt and gentle on the environment. Buy American and stay clean, as well as support InfoWars. Visit 5starsoap.com today or call 1-800-340-7091. Well, Marty, what do you have to say?
As founder and owner for over 63 years, satisfaction is guaranteed or double your dirt back. Call us at 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog or visit our website, 5starsoap.com. Thank you.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
Alex told you the government announced recently that the recession is over. It ended on June of 2009. The millions of Americans unable to find work might not agree. Perhaps the recession ended for the bankers and government employees, but for the rest of us, things seem to be getting worse. Gold and silver haven't heard the news either. They've begun their long-expected journey to the moon. In addition to converting your shrinking dollars into gold and silver, you should consider a food savings account from eFoods Direct. They both make fabulous investments. Food is our greatest dependency, and we know it will be more precious than any financial resource. You and your family need food to survive a crisis, and you can't eat paper, stocks, or metals. Alex has been urging you to invest in delicious, easy-fix meals to enjoy now or save for long-term. This will freeze the cost of your food while you can still afford it. Visit efoodsdirect.com on the internet or call 800-409-5633. That's efoodsdirect.com or 800-409-5633.
People have a reason to rebel, but it's also on record that Western powers triggered this, and Lindsey Williams 4 months ago in October laid out everything that's now happening today. And he is shaken. Give us as much as you can ahead of our meeting tonight so I can be clear on this, what we're going to cover tomorrow. But the break interrupted you. And again, this is information no one's gotten, new information that adds on to all the rest, confirming it from this former oil company CEO, even more powerful than Ken Fromm, your number 2, Mr. X. Lindsey, for 5 minutes, then we'll let you get back to your family event. I know they're there. Let's go over what he told you and a prelude to what's coming up tomorrow.
Alex, you will be breaking information on something so catastrophic tomorrow that every person listening to your broadcast will know why things are taking place in the Middle East as they are today, why the dollar will collapse by the end of 2012, as Mr. Fromm told me before he passed away, why they will be opening up certain oil fields in America because the price goes up to $200 a barrel, why the price at the gas pump is going up to $4 to $5 a gallon by the end of this year. You will have answers to every one of these things as to what's going to happen to the economy of the United States of America. And basically, in a nutshell, it started 4 to 5 months ago when they told me that they were going to have a conflict in the Middle East. That conflict is going to spread. starting right now. At that point, the price of crude oil will go to $200 a barrel, where I told you 2 years ago that they said at a certain point it would start to go up to that point. I did not know at the time why they were going to take it there. I do now because of the other informant that gave me this information only a few days ago. I have it sitting right here in front of me. And what will happen basically is things will get so corrupt in the Middle East that they will begin to open up certain oil fields in the United States of America, in particular the Bakken oil field, the Gull Island field. You must read in my book, Energy Non-Crisis, which is not even in print anymore, but if any of you have it, please read the chapter of Gull Island and blow your mind. This will. They'll open up the Arctic Wildlife Refuge. They will have to begin to produce from our own soil, but they're not going to let you have the gasoline at a reasonable price at the gas pump. You will be paying $5 and $6 a gallon there, but the oil companies will become filthy rich because of what they're doing, and every bit of this is a plan that was planned behind closed doors. I only knew part of it years ago. Little by little, I put the pieces together. Now, every bit of it is evident, and you can understand everything that they're doing. WC, how this all began in the Middle East with Egypt just a few weeks ago.
Incredible. And what time do you want me to call you tonight after the family event, your time, Mountain? What time do you want me to call? Because you said we need to have a meeting before you can break this information.
I need to brief you on this, Alex, so that you'll understand the ramifications of it and the background of it, and any time is fine with me.
Okay, but obviously after the show, because you couldn't do the third hour today.
Yeah, we're talking about later on this afternoon, probably after 6 or 7 o'clock my time.
Okay, I will call you then. Give you plenty of time, because I know family's there. How about 7 o'clock Mountain?
Sounds great.
Okay, I'll call you at 7 o'clock Mountain sharp on the same number we called you this morning, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Lindsey, we appreciate you breaking this here, and I guess it is Providence that I just said, look, everything Lindsey's saying is happening. Better call him, and boom. I guess you were telling my producer that you were getting ready to try to call us.
Well, no, I was just sitting back here stunned because of what I've just printed out this morning.
Now, because normally you call us.
All the pieces together over the past 40 years, put these pieces together, you understand everything they're doing right now. How the economy in America is going to be affected, why the gas prices are going up, what's going to happen to the dollar. You'll know every bit of this because it's all a part of a big picture. And when you see the whole picture, you can understand it. Without it, all you see is just a few things taking place in Libya or in Egypt or in Saudi Arabia. But then when you put all of the pieces together, you sit back in utter horror as to what the elitists are doing. And, Alex, somehow they've got to be stopped.
So you're going to reveal the grand chessboard tomorrow. We know the globalists set up these dictators. Now they're getting ready to topple them to enter this chaos so they can then bring the solution, which is order. And people look at this in a one-dimensional way. Oh, good, they're overthrowing dictators, but there's a larger ramification. And I know I'll learn more tonight and then live tomorrow when I talk to you, but basically you're saying conflict in the Middle East, as you said 4 months ago. I can hardly wait till 7 o'clock tonight, 8 o'clock my time when I call you because, Lindsey, I've never heard you sound like this on the phone. You were almost speechless during the break when I was talking to you.
Well, I'm putting things together that the little pieces of it started back 40 years ago when Mr. Fromm told me those things. And now, of course, the whole picture is here. And the average person does not realize what's happening in the Middle East and how every bit of it was planned behind closed doors. And it relates to the dollar, it relates to gas prices, it relates to grocery prices. Every bit of this fits together in a big picture now, Alex, that for the first time we can see it.
Incredible. All right, Lindsey, I'll call you at 7 o'clock your time sharp, and we'll call you at 1 o'clock tomorrow in the third hour to have you on. We'll probably go into overdrive as well. Thank you for breaking this information here, and you've certainly been proven. Plus, I know your sources. I know it's all real, but some people are doubters. How many times do your sources have to be right until people understand what's happening? Well, they were right back in 1980 when the price of crude oil went from $32 a barrel to $10, and I told it ahead of time. You weren't even existing back in those days. And then when it went from $147 a barrel to $32 a barrel, $33 a barrel, then when the Middle East broke out exactly as I'd been told,
before Mr. Fromm died, and every bit of this. Now, of course, folks, I'm pleading with you to listen to what Alex is saying and listen to this material so that you'll know everything that you're going to have to face between now and the end of 2012. And by the way, I don't have anything new on this. I have not produced anything on it. I'm not here to try to sell a product tomorrow. I think that the American people have got to know what's going on so that they will understand the total picture of what the elite are doing right now, Alex.
Well, absolutely. In fact, your book was out of print for years, and then the great folks at the Prophecy Club reached out to you, and so you're trying to get the message out through that, and people can get the whole breakdown on DVD and CD at prophecyclub.com. I think it's good that, that you're getting the information out in a vehicle to people, and obviously you couldn't sit there at home sending out tens of thousands of free DVDs and CDs. I'm glad you're doing it, but, I mean, all of that, regardless, the point is, I wish tomorrow you had a new CD or something with this new information, but hopefully by next week or so you can get with the folks at Prophecy Club and help you produce that, because this is so incredibly important. But they'll hear it here first, and I'm very, very excited that you're going to be breaking this down for people tomorrow, Lindsey. Last question. I know you've answered this before, but for new listeners, we're on a lot of new AM and FM stations out there. Why do these top elitists, Mr. Fromm, who died last year, so we can now reveal his name, former head of operations, Atlantic Richfield, your other Mr. X, who you again talk about in your book, came out 3 decades ago, the Energy Non-Crisis, who is a former CEO of a big 3 oil company. He's telling you the exact same thing and now more. Why do they tell you this? Why, when Fromm called you a few years ago to threaten you to stop talking about how much oil was here in the U.S., he didn't want that discussed, but he did want other things discussed. Why are they doing this?
The elitists have a code of ethics. They are not the same code that you and I have, Alex. You and I are Bible believers. We believe in Jesus Christ. We believe in honesty and decency. These people, in their code of ethics, do have one facet to it. That is, they must tell the world what they're going to do before they do it. Now, some of the things that I'll be giving on tomorrow, not necessarily things that they're trying to give out right now. But even though I think definitely my present informant sent me this information just hours ago, and this is what I'll be giving on the air tomorrow. But I have to put the total picture together way back years ago when I'll tell the story tomorrow of how Mr. Ken Fromm was actually fired from Atlantic Richfield one time. Nobody's ever heard this before except on 1 or 2 broadcasts anywhere in the world. And it's in my book, Energy Non-Crisis. Then he wrote the chapter, If Gull Island Doesn't Blow Your Mind, This Will. This thing that's happening right now in the Middle East, it goes all the way back to pieces that were put together way back then.
Well, I read your book. I mean, I read your book 15 years ago, after it had already been out for over a decade. When was it published?
It was published, I think, in 1980.
Okay, so I read it 15 years after it had been published. And you talked about the oil barons, how they were going to set the Arabs up, how they were getting them to invest in dollars, and how later they were planning to basically shut them down and then develop the fields. So really, and now we see it happening, but what you're saying is now they're getting ready to engage it, and then the ramifications of that globally with rebellion spreading worldwide. Am I guessing correctly where this is going?
You're guessing correctly. You're seeing something take place right now. It's been in the planning stages for probably 40 years. And you're seeing the fulfillment of it right before your eyes. But how it's going to affect the average American is the part that you must know so that you can help protect yourself in light of what's taking place.
Well, we know Homeland Security's been gearing up the whole time to suppress the American people while baiting and switching that it was for Muslim extremists. Their own internal documents that law enforcement has sent us over and over again from different angles show that. And so they have prepared this. And I was just, in closing, I was listening to local news radio this weekend, WOAI out of San Antonio, and they just had a newscast by the state of Texas and the federal government were being interviewed about how they have a 50-year water plan that's always 50 years out for desalinization plants in the Gulf of Mexico and for all these other systems. And when you actually study the power grid or FCC electronics regulations or everything, it's in 25 and 50-year